Alright, so hi everyone. Now you're in here for the Creative Cloud session. How many of you know about the Creative Cloud and the Adobe tools? Some of you do, some of you don't. So you've not downloaded the Creative Cloud and the apps yet? Because some groups we've had people using the tools, is that, no? Okay. Alright, so you're newbies. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking to you about our tools, why we've moved to the cloud model. I'm going to show you some features, okay, of the cloud, and we're going to look at also the nature and the landscape of where we're at to sort of have an understanding of why we've moved to this model. So this is the creative landscape of where we are. Okay, in terms of the digital space, we're already there now. Okay, so we've got mobile devices, we've got global workspaces. How do we, manage our assets and how do we sort of manage the different proliferation of mobile devices available? How do we work with them as well? Okay, so things like creation happens despite a workflow. Tools and services have not been up to scratch. Managing assets, really difficult. Okay, in this new challenge, in this new space, and also being able to collaborate and file share has been quite difficult. Okay, I don't think we can see the screen.
We went off.
It's okay with the light off.
Yeah. Is it okay with the light on, or?
Yeah, I guess
we're going to have to do. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just want to show you. People don't know what we've got. So I just want to show you that we've not only got the Creative Cloud. Now the Creative Cloud basically is our current, our tools and services, so things like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. We've then put that together with a whole bunch of services, okay? And people can access that online, and that's our Creative Cloud. We're then also, in addition to that, our customers have been telling us what they need and asking us to do something about it. Now in the digital space, they tend to have a strategy which is not just about traditional media, but it's not just about digital, but it's about both. And their customers are dictating that to them. Okay, so they have to come up with a holistic solution. So this is where we help them out, is we've been developing a marketing cloud. The marketing cloud enables our customers to not only create our content with the Creative Cloud, but then to actually make money on that content, to manage the content, and to, measure the content, okay? So that's just a little bit about where we've gone with creating I call it the creative ecosystem, okay? So I hope our marketing department doesn't get a hold of this. All right, so coming back to the Creative Cloud, we now then have to look at how we deliver our tools. How do we combine our existing tools into those services? So it meant reinventing that whole space for us. So what we've done is to provide services, to provide the tools, we've had to bring it together in one place so we can simplify the process for creative people. Being able to have a solution from start to finish and sort of being able to seamlessly integrate in that system makes people's lives a whole lot easier. So it allows you to get access to the creative apps when you need them and the apps you need. So not necessarily do you need to use all the apps, okay? Before you had a choice between, design premium, design and web premium, okay? So now you can access all the apps, but when you need to access them or when you need to use them, depending on your workforce, okay? So we're allowing for more flexibility. SaaS is in general, for us, really it's providing a lower cost of entry. So we have a whole market that sort of wouldn't buy our tools because they couldn't afford them, really. I was one of them. I've been a designer for 14 years. I couldn't afford the Creative Suite, okay? The jobs that I chose were with companies where I contracted. They had the computer, they had the software. So it cut me out of a whole lot of it. Now we're opening it up. Keeping up to date with the latest technologies, accessing content wherever you need it, making software licensing easier. Does anybody here manage licensing and deployment and packaging? Okay, there's always one or two. It's been a nightmare, right? So now we're providing a solution that's going to make it easier, and it is getting easier as we go. All right. So just having a look at where we've been, as you can all remember, I've still got my InDesign 2 CD, and I wish I kept the box because it'd be worth something now. It's a souvenir. This is where we are now. Okay, so this is where we are with the tools. Okay, so we've got, you know, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. You get a Creative Cloud subscription. You log in, you download the software to your desktop. Way to go. Alright, so Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. I don't have to download every piece of software. I can download just Photoshop or just InDesign. Okay, so it allows for more flexibility in how I work. Alright, so once I've downloaded the files, the applications to my desktop, I don't need to be connected to the internet to have to use them. Alright, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. People think that the apps sit in the cloud and you're streaming from the cloud. You don't have to do that, okay? That's not what happens. You download the apps to your desktop and you use the apps on your desktop like you normally do. The cloud stuff is really when we start looking at the server side, okay, and how the apps work, and I'll explain a bit more about that. Okay, let's move into file sharing. So not only do we have the apps, we can add new apps in this model, Muse, Edge Tools and Services. So this is a scalable model without affecting what you've already got. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, so you're paying the subscription per month like you do on a gym membership. We can add new tools in and it's not going to cost you any more. Okay, so there's some of the benefits of why we've moved to a cloud model. Looking at the sync, store and share, okay, what we've then done is we've got a whole lot of services that we're providing. Let me just go into one of the folders just to explain to you and show you how that actually works. So when we're looking, let me turn it up this way. So when we're looking at syncing, store and share, you can have your apps on 2 devices. So now we have iPads, we have, you know, iPhones, we have a laptop and we have a desktop. Okay, you know, a lot of people do. I did, I still do. And now with that, we can actually download the software to 2 devices. All right. So when we're having software on more than one device, you've got Photoshop set up with your preferences set how you like them to be, right? You go to the computer too, download Photoshop, preferences are already set for you, okay? Because they're synced to the cloud. All right, so there's some of the nice things that are making it easier to manage what you're doing in your work processes. Storage, single Creative Cloud subscription, 20 gigs of storage, okay? And this is the storage, so this is where my files are sitting. Right, for Creative Cloud teams, you get 100 gigs per user. Okay, and I'll explain a bit more about Creative Cloud for teams. The files are in the cloud, but I've also downloaded the Creative Cloud app and I've got the files and a watch folder on my desktop. So any files in that folder on the desktop will automatically sync to this browser here in Safari. So this is my iPad, this is Safari. These are my files. If I make a change on this file, it will sync, okay? Some of the nice things that we've never been able to do before, right? So if someone doesn't have InDesign or Photoshop, how do they look at a file? Traditionally, they PDF it, put it in an email and send it out. Now you can flip through the file, right, without even having to have InDesign and Photoshop and see the pages. You can flip the layers on and off in Photoshop and Illustrator, okay? You can share this file. Now, if I just click it, last time this froze on me halfway through, you'd have to cut. I'll go to send link. Okay, no, okay, so we can share it with Behance, and I'm doing this upside down, mind you. Send link, there we go. I was doing it upside down, so I kept selecting the wrong one. I can share this file with somebody who doesn't have the Creative Cloud. Okay, they can click on, they'll get an email like you do in Dropbox. They'll get an email, click on the link, go to the website, have a look at the file, flip through the pages, comment, they can download the file. They don't have to have a Creative Cloud subscription to do that. Okay, so that's some of the nice things we're doing for our customers.
So they're just able to view it, not do anything with it, obviously.
Yeah, so like to edit the file, you would need the software. But if you are viewing the file, you know, for example, in my last job, because I was a designer, I'd send PDFs to my director for sign-off. You know, I could use the commenting feature and I could share that with her and she could say, yes, this is good to go in the comments, and then off it goes. Okay, so it keeps a running commentary of comments. All right, and as you can see here. All right, and in here, just some file information as well. So you can see the colours used, you can see the fonts that are used, okay? That's something quite handy for printers, in my opinion. So it's just adding in a whole, simplifying a lot of these processes where you'd have to have this information in an email or something like that. It's showing you right there and there, okay? One of the other things we do, because we've got all this software and we're pushing out updates now every, I think it's 8 to 9 weeks, okay, instead of 12 months, 18 months, because we couldn't before because of legal reasons. We've got these new features and this new software. You have to learn it right. So how do you learn it? We've produced a whole bunch of training videos with our training partners. When new features come out, there'll be a video on how to use it and how to do it. Okay, and you have access to all that. And people like lynda.com, okay, they're all the people who've created these resources. All right, so you have access to all these new tools and support. Okay, so just moving on, you've got all these new tools, all right, how do you manage the software? Okay, so for a single user, and if it was me, it would be a CD, you know, serial number. Now it's a login basically. You download the Creative Cloud app, you know, from the website to your desktop. So I can download the apps from the website itself, or I can download the Creative Cloud app and download the software through this, okay? I can see what's up to date. I can see if I need to update. What it does is it tells me if I need to update. I click on the button, it then updates. I'm not forced to update. And I think that's one of the things with our software, you know, updates would come in. You can choose whether you update or not, all right? You can manage that. For Creative Cloud for Teams and Enterprise, okay, we have a Creative Cloud packager. So if you want to centrally deploy your software, you can do that, all right? The nice thing, I've had so much great feedback from IT people who manage this stuff saying they absolutely love it. Some of the reasons being you don't have to select whether it's Windows, whether it's Mac, all that sort of thing. You select your language, you select the software, you sort of configure some of the settings, you click package. Label your package, download the package, MSI, PKG file, deploy it. How you usually deploy it. So the deployment hasn't changed, okay? It's just the packaging. It's made a whole lot easier. We're looking at how we might manage our users in Creative Cloud Teams. We've got here a console. So we're getting a lot of good feedback on this. We have a company that's actually a large publishing place who really should be on Enterprise, but we don't have the Enterprise solution for this yet. We're getting it. It'll be, you know, LDAP integration and single sign-on. So they bought Teams because they liked the idea of this console to manage their users. You can add users, put their email in, send invite. The user gets the email, clicks on a link, downloads the software, signs in, downloads the software straight away. Right, they don't have to wait. If you're going through a reseller, you put in your purchase order number, it goes to them, they can manage the financials in that space there. If one of your users leaves, you can take them out of the seat, then you can reassign the seat to somebody else, okay? So there's some of the nice little features and making it so easy, so much easier with the license management. You know what your users are getting, you know, so you don't have to worry whether they're getting this or that. Whatever's in your Creative Cloud, that's what they get, okay? They download the software. You've got the option for them to manage their own software with BYOD, or, you know, you can centrally deploy. Some of the nice things of what we're doing. Just looking at the difference in the options, as you can see here, Creative Cloud Packager for centralized deployment and centralized billing. We've got 2 one-on-one sessions with an Adobe product expert. This is something that we're now doing, is supporting our customers on the technology side. for Creative Cloud teams, you get a 2 half-hour sessions per seat with an expert. Okay, so you can book that time. It's a product expert. You book the session online, and then you can organise a phone call. If you've got 10 people in the team, you can pull those together. Okay, so for example, you might pull together 2 hours of session time. You might you might need to cut this. You might have 10 you might have 10 people in the room on the phone call. All right, so it's that sort of thing you can do. Just some of the myths. Okay, desktop apps run in the cloud. No, they don't. Okay, so we've cleared that up. They're on your desktop. You need to sort of be connected roughly every 30 days for it to ping the servers. Okay. I need to be connected to the internet to run my apps. No, you don't. So if you're not connected to the internet, your apps will still run like they normally do. Okay. Creative Cloud is the same as Creative Suite. It's not. Now, you know we're not adding any new features into the Creative Suite at all. You all know that, yeah? We're not adding new features in. We're putting all our innovations into the Creative Cloud. Okay, so all the new features, all the enhancements will go into the cloud software.
Are you phasing out Creative Suite?
Well, we're keeping Creative Suite 6, and I think they're still selling the box products. But we're not putting any new innovation into it because that's an extra cost to invest in a product where, you know, really we can't connect them to services. We can't, you know, so our innovation goes into the new stuff. Yeah. But we understand people want to still use Creative Suite 6. Anyway, they obviously haven't seen some of the new features in the Creative Cloud software. They want to change quickly. All right, so just if we're looking at updates as well, you don't have to update, you're not forced to update, you can choose when you update, okay? And things like, you know, if I decide to leave Creative Cloud, I won't be able to access my files. You have about 90 days to get your files out of the cloud, which is more than sometimes having the files on someone's laptop who leaves and you can't get it and they're gone and they didn't put it on the server. So at least it's providing you a little bit more option and flexibility there. Okay. So just wrapping it up, we're looking at, you know, affordability and accessibility. We're looking at rapid innovation and integration, support and services and easier management. So that's, you know, really looking at what SaaS provides our customers. Okay, so just on that, are there any questions? No? All right.
Oh, actually, I'm wondering, you know how you were saying that you can actually get, log in and get it on different devices? What sort of functionality does, say, an iPhone or an iPad? Oh, that was what you were showing us. Oh, right, okay. So, and it's a cloud app, it's not the app, not the Photoshop app or the other apps that are...
No, so the apps, you've got your desktop tools. We do have Photoshop Touch, Illustrator Touch.
Yeah,
so you can actually access your files from the cloud into Photoshop Touch and save them to the cloud.
Right, okay.
You can then have them on the desktop and then open them up in Photoshop. So depending on how you want to work, and I've done that. So yeah, we do have, and I think we'll develop more touch tools as we go. Yeah, just because so many people use devices.
Do you have to update, do you have to upload your assets, your files to the cloud? Or can you not just bring them in from your own desktop environment?
Yeah, so if you've got the folder on your desktop, okay, you just drag your files into your folder on the desktop and it automatically syncs, like Dropbox.
Could you give us an indication of what subscription would be for a single user?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you to go to the website because the prices changed, so like have been changing, like we've had specials on, and the standard price for a single is $49.95, I think. The Teams is $69.95. That is the standard price, but we've had specials on. And I said that to a customer, I said, oh, it's this price, it was a special on $39.95, and then I got back to the office that afternoon and then it dropped to like $19.95 per month or something ridiculous like that, and I sort of thought, oh wow. So yeah, so go and check the website because we do have specials on.
Cheaper than it was buying a multi-license with Creative Suite. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do. And if you've got CS6, it's a real good incentive to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're paying per seat as opposed to the multiples that they used to have, which was 10, 15, 20, that type of thing.
In terms
Of a license. So, you know, if you had only 8 people in your team, you're
Yeah.
still paying for a 10-seat license.
Yeah, so yeah, you are. So I guess, you know, and it depends on whether you've got enterprise or teams.
Enterprise.
Okay, so enterprise is a little bit different in how that works. So it's a little bit more complicated. There's more involved in terms of the usage and things like that. So that is a little bit different. Yeah.
I think a one-on-one session with an Adobe person will help.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the upgrade sounds like the perfect thing to do.
Yeah. So if you want to know any more or want someone to come out and see you and talk to you,
Yeah.
I've got some cards here, so
Great.
please feel free to sort of
Yeah.
give me a call and I can arrange that with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the enterprise stuff, I tend not to like to talk about that licensing side too much because that's
Yeah.
where our account managers really talk about it. It really does depend on what your business needs are.
Yeah.
and how
I think
they-
what the gold part is that, you know, work does continue when you go home, for some of us, I'm sure it does for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working on a project in your desktop in your office,
Mm-hmm.
then you can go back home and just
Yeah.
have all those assets come back in, would be just
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I was telling one of the I was talking to 2 graphic designers at lunch, sort of not sure about what the cloud was about and coming to that model. And when I told them that, you know, you can take a picture on your iPad or your iPhone, upload it into your cloud, go to your desktop and it's there. Before you have to email it or share it
Yeah.
via email.
Mm.
You don't have to do that. So there's some of the nice things.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.